Yo, what's up? It's your boy Serrano. Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing 52 tips and tricks for the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold5. So make sure you guys stay locked in to the end of the video. And if you're brand new to the channel, I truly appreciate you for coming through. If you're new, but if you're already a part of the crew, salute. So today we're going to be doing actually 25 tips and tricks because I didn't want to make the video end up being too long. But the first tip that I wanted to share with you on this device is how to do a screenshot. But basically you would just go into any app or whatever, and then you would take your palm and you would slide it across the screen like this, and it's going to take the screenshot. And so you could basically edit it right after you do that, draw or whatever you want to do, but you're going to get the ability to like take screenshots on here. And obviously it does have the S Pen on the inner display, but not the outer display. But I think just swiping across with your palm is actually going to be pretty efficient. Now, the second feature I wanted to show you is how to do the swipe down from the middle or the bottom so you can get to your notification shade. So all you have to do is go into settings, go into home, basically the home, you know what I mean, like option right here, home screen. And then you're going to go down to the bottom where it says swipe down for notification panel, and then just turn that on, this one right here, so that you can actually swipe down and get that notification shade. And then you also have the option of rotate the screen, because when that's off and you put it in this mode, it's not going to turn. And you would basically go in, hit the rotate landscape mode, and then you're going to have the ability to not only use the phone this way, but also when you rotate it, it's going to actually adjust as well. But to be 100, the main way that I actually do screenshots on here is by like just tapping. They're giving me a lot of boxing fights, that's crazy. But like if I wanted to take a screenshot on this thing, you know, you could basically just hold down the power button in the bottom volume rocker and then snap it one time, and then you're gonna gain access to you know, the screenshots. Now what I really like is the home screen setup, because you're gonna have all of the menus on the left side, and then on the right side it's gonna be where you customize it, so you can actually get your adaptive refresh rate and stuff like that. But one of the things that I like about this thing is that basically when you go into the always on display inside a lock screen, you can actually mess around with it a little bit. So you see right here, you have the always on display option right there. And then so what happens is if you click it, it gives you some of the options to mess around with it. So you can see right here, portrait or landscape, clock style, and it gives you the ability to change the clock on your thing. And you can even put an image on your you know, always on display. So you just pick an image on that thing, and it will, you know, basically give you that image. So I could put this guy right here and then hit done, and then that's going to be my always on display. So if I close the phone and I just tap it once, you're going to see I have that on my always on display, which actually looks really sick. Another thing is that if your facial scan is acting funny, you can go into security and privacy and click biometrics. And what you want to do is it's going to give you the ability to tap face recognition. And so that's when you go ahead, enter your PIN or whatever. And I'm in right now. So you can see right here, it says stay on the lock screen until you swipe. I actually turn that off, and then it does give you the ability to require open eyes as well to increase the overall protection, so they can't scan your face while you're sleeping. And then one of the other things that you do get is the ability to actually put an alternative or an alternate appearance. So this gives you like different appearances, so you could wear glasses or a hat, and then that's going to actually increase the face scan a little bit better. So when you're doing your facial recognition on here, you can get a little bit more accurate. But right now you can see it did unlock. That's because I had the alternate on there to make it a little bit more accurate. Now, in order to use any app in full screen mode, basically what you have to do is open up the tablet into tablet mode, and then you go into settings, and what you're going to do is go into advanced features real quick, because this is going to give you the ability to use all your apps in full screen mode. And so you can see all your options right here for advanced, but what you want to do is go straight to labs at the top, and then you can see this is where you're going to have your options here. So you get multi-window for all apps. You want to turn that on, and you get landscape view or portrait, but this is actually where you would go in to change it to full screen. So you can see I have Amazon on full screen. Any app that I want to be on full screen will have that capability when I actually go here, and I'm trying to look for an app that I want in full screen, like gallery. I'm going to change that and turn on landscapes or portrait view for portrait, but you could actually turn that off or whatever. So there's a lot of customization here. And then I have, the Instagram set up for full screen as well and all that. So I definitely think this is going to be Netflix as well. So just the apps that you want to have on full screen, you're going to basically get that ability to like use the app on both sides. Like it's going to fill up the entire screen, which is actually pretty cool. Now, one of the things is if you swipe in with 2 fingers, or you just do a long press like that, you're going to go into your option right here into settings for home screen settings, and then it's going to give you the ability to do cover screen mirroring. Use the same layout on your cover and main screen, change in one place. Changes in one place are affected in other, and so basically it's going to be a continuation. So if you want that on there, it's kind of like the Google Pixel setup, then you could turn that on, but I turn it off so I could customize the inside. And then when I'm using the outside, like right here, you can see it's a completely different setup on these apps and everything and all the widgets. So I have my list right here. I have some of my scrolling widgets set up right here. And basically how you set up the scrolling widget is you open up a widget that you want to add. You go ahead and actually, before I drop that in, I'm going to delete it real quick, because one of the things that you have to do is you have to find a window right here, a new window, and then you click widgets, and then you go to smart suggestions, and it gives you these options right here. But let's just pick Audible, for instance, and I'm going to just go ahead, drag that in there. You can long press it again and create a stack, and then that's when you can add other widgets. So I could add this one and like keep adding different widgets until I feel like, I set it up the way I actually want it to be. And so you basically can set it up the way you want to. So right now I'll basically click it again, added the stack, and then add one more. And you can just create any one of your own choice, maybe Pandora. I'll go ahead, add that in there. And then you can go back, and then you have the option for that quick shortcut. So I definitely like that feature as well. Another thing that's really cool about this device is that it has wireless sharing. So basically, if you're inside of the options right here, you can go right here, and you're going into the settings right now. Basically, what you want to type is wireless power sharing, and that's inside a battery. You can go ahead, turn that on, and then when you're ready to charge up, you could take a pair of headphones, put those on there. You're gonna hear the beep, and you can see the light is on. So that means that these are actually charging on my device right now. So I would basically use this if I just wanted to get a quick charge on my headphones, and let's say I just ran out of juice. This is gonna be a sick feature, because you could easily get more battery when you're using accessories with this thing. And if you go inside of the top where you see sound, you're just gonna long click this button, and basically what you want to do is scroll down, go to sound, quality, and effects, and you can mess around with the equalizer right here. You could create a custom one, and basically you could tailor the sound however you want, coming out of this device, so that's going to be pretty cool. But they have these options right here automatically. You have Dolby Atmos for gaming, you have adapt sound, and so you can kind of tailor the listening experience on here, which is another really nice feature about this phone, because it has that Dolby Atmos, which is going to sound like extremely punchy, and it's going to actually do a pretty decent job of filling up the room. And one really cool thing about using the S Pen is that when you hover it over any of the Samsung Galaxy like apps right here, you're going to see that it's going to blow up the image in the gallery, which is also going to help for like finding images and like without clicking it. So it saves like a step, so you can actually just do a preview of the image. And if you ever go back into Samsung apps, like let's say Notes, it does the same thing. So it's pretty cool how the pen gives you a little bit of activity with it, like a little bit of versatility, and you also do get your shortcuts with the pen and your notes, as well as live messages, translate as well, which is actually pretty good. It lets you pick the language and you actually get your translate right here, so you can actually just speak into it. Hey, what's up? And so it did like a little search or whatever. So like, you actually have to click this thing right here, and then you could change the languages up. And if you kind of want to conserve battery a little and you're just not using the phone as heavy, I actually turn on this mode, performance profile. You long hold it and it's going to give you the standard, provides the recommended balance between processing speed, battery life, and cooling efficiency. If you put it on light, it's going to prioritize the battery life and cooling efficiency over the processing speeds. But you know, that's if you wanted to actually save a little bit more battery and everything. And then you're going to get your battery settings in here, like protect battery, fast charging. You can turn that on, battery percentage, turn that on. And you're also going to get adaptive battery, and you also just want to turn that on as well. And then you're pretty much all set when it comes to battery. You're going to get a pretty decent amount of battery. And you can see I had 20 hours today of overall usage, 21 actually, and I still have 36% left. And you know, that's gonna give me a pretty decent amount of battery, so I definitely think this thing lasts quite some time. And also, it does say I have 12 hours of screen off time and 3 hours and 17 minutes of screen on time on this thing. Now when you're in settings and you go to advanced features, what you want to do is, you can see you have motions and gestures. So you want to turn on lift to wake, double tap to turn off and on, touch with your palm to turn the screen off. That's actually a solid feature, because when you're using the phone like this, just put your palm on it and it's going to turn the phone off. But you could also double tap to wake and everything, and you get your facial recognition or your fingerprint, making it real easy to open up the display. So if you want to turn it off, I definitely like that palm one, but I usually just double tap it to turn it off. At the very bottom, it's going to give you mute gestures when you have incoming calls and alarms. Putting your hand over the screen or turning your phone face down will mute, you know what I mean, like every incoming call, alarm, or you know, stuff like that. So you want to turn that on. Then it'll alert you when you pick up the phone, when you receive a message. So you want to turn basically all of these features right here, like all of them I would actually turn on, unless you don't want to be notified when you actually pick up your phone or something like that. And I did put my side button as my flashlight app, so when I actually double tap here, I'm gonna get to my flashlight. So I just really enjoy using that feature as well. But if you're still here, just type down in the comment section, I'm still here, so I know you're still kicking it with me. And I just want to remind you to hit the like button so we can get this video out to more people and help beat the YouTube algorithm, okay? One of the things that I like to do is, when I'm inside of settings, I go to keyboard you know, customization. I'm going to show you that right now. So the settings is going to be right here. Then you're going to locate the keyboard options, and you'll see it once it pops up. I think it's right here, general management. And then you want to go inside of your Samsung keyboard settings right here. So you're going to click that button, and then it's going to give you the option to actually turn on, you know, like the pen detection for the keyboard. So you want to definitely turn that on. And if you can't find it inside of here, let me show you what you would have to do. You would go into settings and just type pen detection. So right here you can see it's actually on. And it didn't capture that word perfectly, so let me just try that one more time. So let me see if I could actually find it. So basically inside of the Samsung keyboard settings, you would turn on S Pen to text, which gives you the ability to write with the S Pen. So let me just show you real quick. Once that's turned on, you can see right here, you go into more typing options as well, and then click that and turn on enhance accuracy. And so now if you go into the phone and you're using the S Pen to, let's say, search in Google right here, you can actually click here. If you hit the keyboard, it'll bring it back to the floating keyboard, which is kind of crazy. But you can click here and you get all types of options like handwriting, and then you could turn that on. And let's say Samsung Galaxy. A really nice tool to actually use. You could take screenshots with it as well. That's another way you could actually do a screenshot, is with the pen. And then you could, you know, do screenshots and do some notes and everything like that. What I like to do is switch up the look of this thing. And so I basically can go into the themes app on here just by long holding the display in a place where there's no options, like nothing there, and then hit themes, and you can get you some nice themes on here. Just go down to themes and scroll until you see the ones you want. They do have some free ones, top free themes, and so you can mess around with some of these guys. So, you know, if you see one that you actually want to mess around with, it's going to actually kind of change up the phone, the look and everything. So I like messing around with this, but there are some paid ones. So if you did just want to throw out the cash, you didn't even mind, you got paid like that week or whatever, you want to spend some money up on this, it's going to definitely be a nice experience, because you can see all the icons change, giving it a really nice look. And if you turn off dark mode, you can actually see the themes a lot better. Like you can see the orange on there for the icons, the yellow with the so it changes up everything. And so everything is gonna have a nice look to it. It's gonna look different. And you can see this is like a brownish autumn fall color. So it's just giving you different vibes. So I definitely think that's a nice solid feature too. Now, if you go into advanced features and tap labs, if you scroll all the way down, it's going to say something called swipe for pop-up view. Just make sure you turn that on, because when you swipe down here, it's going to actually give you the float-in apps, and you can swipe from the corner to expand it, sort of like Microsoft Windows, how they let you mess around with the windows on here. And so you get that really nice option to mess around with. You could put it back in split screen mode and then use this guy to actually create either a pop-up or drag it and create a split screen. So you definitely want to activate this feature inside a display, because the panel right here is so customizable, and it lets you put any app you want there as well. But in addition to that, you get this option right here where you can actually just search whatever app. So it's pretty customizable, and I definitely like messing around with it. Overall, you get some of these options here to tap it or touch and hold to actually enter a window. So this is really versatile when it comes to multitasking, but you also have your flex mode on here. So go back into settings, and after you go back into settings, what you want to do is go into advanced features again, and because you're going to see the tent mode, which they call inside of labs, you want to turn it up. It's called flex mode. You turn that on, and now when you're inside of an app, let's just say the SoundCloud, for example, it's telling me I have to, if you tilt it, it's going to give you the touchpad like a computer. Then you can scroll and do your browsing like a computer, and you can get to the keyboard as well. When you're swiping on here, you can hit the search button and then hit the bar right here, and then I could even start drawing on here. I could just type Drake, and you can see how big the landscape is. So it just works very well if you wanted to listen to like music or just do a lot of stuff multitasking on both windows. It also gives you split screen, so you can enter different windows on that option in flex mode, and you can pull down a navigation shade. You could also take a screenshot or just enter the touchpad mode, and then they give you the ability to increase the volume and change the display brightness. And one of the things I did with mine is that I don't have that Google thing over here, which kind of slows down the phone. So if you wanted to turn that off, you long hold the screen and you can go all the way to the left and turn it back on. But you could also turn on Samsung News or Google Discovery. You could choose between the two. And so when I swipe to the left now, I'm gonna get my news on the side of there. But like you can see right here, it's gonna give you that option to get that. So you can actually read whatever pops up on there. You could probably customize your feed as well. So, you know, just depending on what you wanna do when it comes to this thing as far as the home screen. But the options are very immense when it comes to the customization. So I definitely like using this thing for, you know, everyday use. It's definitely a very versatile phone, and I definitely like how they did a lot of the updates on here with the hinge and the overall software, and it just feels really sturdy. It's probably the best phone ever that I used, like up until this point. So hopefully you guys did find this video helpful. This is the tips and tricks part 1, about 25 of them, and I'm gonna jump into the next video, so make sure you guys stay locked in for that. But if you're still here, just type down below I'm still here, so I know you're still kicking it with me. And I just want to remind you to hit the like button so we can get this video out to more people and help beat the YouTube algorithm. But I'm gonna check you guys later, okay? Later, crew. Peace.